السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Continuing the discussion on the sins of the tongue, we talk about ghiba, backbiting, which is another great sin that unfortunately we are very commonly involved in. Even those of us who feel like we are good people, we are religious people, we pray, we fast, we do all sorts of things, we come to the masjid, yet we don't realize that ghiba is such a major sin, such a great sin, and we don't think of it as a big deal. And unfortunately, we do it all the time. Sometimes we'll be sitting in the masjid, yet we are backbiting about people. So it's very, very important to stay away from this. And it's something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically says in the Quran, that وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا, none of you should backbite one another. And then Allah asks, أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَن يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا فَكَرِهْتُمُوهُ. Would one of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother on his back, the dead brother? Obviously you would dislike this. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a picture. Somebody might ask, what is the correlation, connection between backbiting and talking bad about somebody behind their back and biting their flesh off? Why is there such a gory sort of depiction of backbiting? So some ulama explain that the skin of a person hides what's beneath it. If somebody has seen any sort of, maybe somebody has a gruesome injury in which their skin came off, you see that what's beneath it, all the nerves and everything, the bones sometimes, is very scary looking, right? It doesn't look nice. Whereas a person, when they had their skin, everything, mashallah, looks beautiful and nice. So the skin is a means of beautification and hiding whatever is beneath it, which is not pleasing to the sight. So in the same way, if a person talks bad about somebody behind their back, what they're doing is they're exposing their faults. They're exposing that which is beneath that layer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them a protection and given him a good reputation amongst the people. What you're doing is you're removing that layer of good reputation by talking bad about him and exposing that person's faults. And that's why it's such a bad thing, because Allah himself is protecting this person's faults, yet you are going out of your way to try to expose this person's fault and talk bad about this person. So that's why it's very important for us to stay away from this. We don't like that our faults are revealed, so why should we like that other people's faults should be revealed, that we should reveal other people's faults? So it's very important for us to stay away from this sin. And another thing that commonly is said, that people talk about another person and you say, but no, don't say that, it's not right. And they say, no, but this is the reality, I'm keeping it real. It is what it is, right? But the fact is that just because that is true doesn't mean it's not backbiting. Rather, that is the definition of backbiting. If you're saying something about him that's not true, that's actually slandering. The definition of backbiting is you mentioning something about your brother that he does not like. And somebody asked the Prophet ﷺ, but what if it's that quality is in that person? Then he said, if the quality is in that person, then that is backbiting. If that quality is not in that person, that's actually slander. So it's very important for us. We think keeping it real is a good thing all the time and just being truthful. No, you don't have to mention everything about everybody. If you have something negative about somebody, keep it into yourself. There's no need to say it out loud, right? This is not what the deen teaches us. And so, again, we should all keep in mind that ghiba is a great sin and a great harm to society, right? And because of this, you see many problems happen in marriages or amongst family members or in communities because of backbiting. And if we were to leave this one thing, you would see so much more serenity and peace and reconciliation and love and harmony amongst people if we were to leave this one sin. May Allah grant us all tawfiq. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that there are certain circumstances where it would be permissible to talk about somebody, something negative, but again, we limit it to these circumstances, right? So for example, if somebody's is complaining to somebody who has the ability to remove the oppression that somebody does. So you tell them, oh, this person did such and such thing to me, to a ruler, or to somebody who has the ability, that's permissible. Or you're asking a question to an alim, a scholar, that such and such thing happened, you need to know the ruling. So you need to mention that such and such person did this to me, so what is the ruling on it? Or you need some sort of advice on how to deal with the situation. And again, you should try to avoid mentioning the exact person just to be safe, but just mention the general incident that happened. Then another is, let's say that certain person knows that they can help this person stop doing this evil. So you tell them, look, this brother is doing this, so please, if you can, try to stop him from doing it. So if a person can be a means of stopping that evil, then they can tell another person about it. Another is to warn somebody about somebody who is doing something. For example, let's say if somebody's going to marry somebody, then in that case, you should explain actually that the person is not good, for example. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all tawfiq and accept all our actions.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni laka sumtu wa ala rizkika aftartu. Khawatin wa Hazrat, roza iftar kar lijiye. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. illallah.